Phantom Mephisto, Canadian Grizzly Bear, what is up? Let's get to it. All right. I could probably try to read without my glasses. All right. Yo, what is good? It is the Godfather of gaming, the ageless wonder, the VR king of the crumb side, Lincoln Clay. What's going on with everybody? August 14th will be a great day, sir. I could read without my glasses, but I'm going to go ahead and wear them anyway, just because, I mean, I can see what you guys are saying, but it's still slightly blurry. But okay. So, as the title says, August 14th will be a great day. And anybody who hasn't been living under a VR rock knows what August 14th is. This is a huge day coming up. No Man's Sky will get the VR update. The update will be free. And to my knowledge, unless anything has changed, it's still going to be crossplay amongst all the major headsets, and VR people will still be able to play with flat screen people. So this is huge. Excuse me. Got a little burp going on there. So, well, I've never played No Man's Sky before. Call in work sick day. As much as I'd like to do it, I can't do it, DJ. I gotta save some of my vacation time for doctor's appointments. But I've never played No Man's Sky before, and I just now popped in. Let me grab this real quick. I just now popped it into my PlayStation. Here it is. As soon as they announced that it was going to get a VR update, I immediately went and bought this. So this set, the day no one goes to work. So yeah, this set, unopened, and I just opened it a few minutes ago so I could pop it into the PlayStation and get everything downloaded. I also have this game on Steam, so I will be playing it on both PlayStation VR and the Oculus. So it says you're in for a treat, my friend. All right, I'm looking forward to it. Can everybody hear me loud and clear? I mean, I see that I got the microphone going, but I just want to make sure that you guys can hear me clearly. So, yeah, I think because of, always been a sci-fi guy. Audio and picture is fine? Okay, cool. When I was young, I was always a sci-fi guy. The Star Treks, the Star Wars, the Battlestar Galacticas, and okay, Nicholas Taylor, sound good? All right, thanks. And a lot of that sci-fi from my younger days is still in me. So when No Man's Sky, when we first heard about it, I was actually curious about it because I like the thought of being able to explore a lot of different planets, solar systems, galaxies, what have you. So I was really curious about the game, but the game got off to a bad start. I heard it was buggy, amongst other things. I heard it lacked content. I heard that you weren't really running into other people, in the multiplayer like they tried to say. But I guess over time they've added content and updates. So from what I'm understanding now, the game has, finally lived up to its hype. And so the thought of space exploration going to different planets and that kind of stuff. To be able to do it in VR just takes the cake. I mean, anybody who's into sci-fi games, again, that would be another genre. Why wouldn't you want to explore it? Why wouldn't you want to see it in VR? I mean, I've got a few sci-fi experiences on the Oculus Quest. I think you have one from the, I think like the BB something History Channel, something like that, where you're going out on a space station to make minor repairs. And while you were making repairs, debris comes flying at you, and your tether gets severed from the PlayStation, and you're floating away from the PlayStation. So you got, the PlayStation, space station, and you got to use your thrusters on your backpack to try to get back to the PlayStation. And it was real enough that I actually got scared for a second, because that shit looked so real, seeing the planet Earth. And then, it's black one minute and then it's daylight the next minute because of the rotation of the planet relevant to the sun. And when I started like drifting away from that space station, that felt kind of real. It was actually a little bit scary. Same thing on Lone Echo. There was a couple of times where I was floating into space, and the only thing that kept me from getting, like feeling like it was way too real, is that I was able to control Jack's thrusters to get back to the Fury transport. But those are a couple of games that I got where there's some kind of sci-fi space experience, and I'm definitely looking forward to this. And I think the first time, there was some big moments for me in VR, and I think like once I embraced VR, I think the first big moment in VR for me was when we got Farpoint with the aim controller, which you can see that right here. So that was my first big moment in VR, because I was like, this is like the first pure first-person shooter that we're getting on the PlayStation VR, along with the aim controller that made it more immersive and more realistic. And then I'd say the next big moment for PlayStation VR for me came when we got Bravo Team, because now we got the military first-person shooter that I was looking for. A lot of people felt that game was a disappointment, and I can understand why they felt that way. For the most part, I was okay with the game. The only problem I had with the game is that out of nowhere, you have enemies spawning right behind you. So that was kind of crappy, but other than that, it was a pretty good game. And then the next big moment was probably the biggest moment up until now, and that was the release of Firewall. I said, because now we're finally going to get that VR first-person shooter multiplayer, and so that was a huge moment for me. So I think with this VR No Man's Sky update, that's going to be the biggest thing, the biggest hype, biggest anticipation for VR yet, because this game is going to be cross-play across multiple platforms. As I said before, PlayStation, Oculus, HTC, Valve Index, HP Reverb, all the major headsets. It's going to be cross-play with all those major headsets, along with the flat screen players. Christopher Hart, he said August 14th will be the day I will be flying into space and exploring new worlds. Exactly. I can't wait, my friend. I definitely can't wait. I never played this game before, but I think I was watching PSVR Without Parole, and I think he mentioned something to the fact that VR players are going to be able to wave, to the non-VR players. So for us VR players, we're definitely going to have the more immersive experience, the more interactive, the more immersive experience, because it's saying everything you can do in the regular game, you'll be able to do in VR. So that's huge. And that's going to make it more immersive. But one of the other questions that I got is that, will people who play this game in VR, I think we definitely going to have more freedom. I don't know about the PlayStation version of it. I don't know if they're going to allow you to, if you're going to be able to use the Move controllers, or if it's a situation where you use the DualShock controller. But I'm led to believe that on PC, Oculus, you'll be able to use the touch controllers and whatever other headset you're using. you're gonna wave at flat screen players and tell them to wave back. And DJ, you said moves are confirmed. So with that being said, are the VR players gonna have an advantage? Because we're gonna have more freedom in terms of movement. So are VR players gonna have more of an advantage? Goodbye, real world. Hello, No Man's Sky. Joystick Guru, what is up? What's good with you, man? I don't know if I said what's up to you, but how you doing, man? So yeah, I'm really excited, and I think my next big day after No Man's Sky hits, I think my next big day that I'm looking forward to, probably won't happen. PLO, what's up? I think my next big day that I'm looking forward to won't happen until Gran Turismo 7 comes out. And said, if you look on the No Man's Sky VR video, the cockpits are different. They use two hands to control them. Yeah, I saw that. I saw there was like a flight stick and a throttle. So that's definitely going to be more immersive. But getting back to the next day that I'm going to be looking forward to after this, it's going to be when Gran Turismo 7 comes out. Because not only do I expect this game to be a VR multiplayer, but uh-oh. Oh man. Well, that's my mother calling. I'll take that after this podcast. And don't laugh at my ringtone. I'm finally glad we got a release date for No Man's Sky Beyond. Exactly, because it was I was beginning to run out of patience, waiting for them to give us a release date. I was starting to run out of patience. But we're gonna get this we finally got a date, and I'm really excited. What I was gonna add lastly, Fatal Mephisto, the Canadian grizzly bear, said, all you bitches laughing at this game now, excited for it because of VR. Yeah! So the big question is, which one should I play it on my Rift S or on my PSVR? I know, Fatal. That's unfortunate that Canada cracks you guys over the head with taxes and prices and that kind of stuff. That's really shitty. So I keep jumping away from this. Play both. I keep jumping away from this. If anybody watches GT Sport, you see these FIA tournaments that they stream from YouTube. These official FIA tournaments, and I think whoever wins the trophy, I think it's Kenichiro Yamaguchi I think he's a guy at Polyphony. He's the one that he's the one that presents the trophy to the winners. Now, what I think is going to happen is these FIA tournaments that you see on GT Sport. I think you're going to see these tournaments in VR. So, a couple of years from now, you very well could see Igor Fraga wearing a VR headset running one of these races. Cyber Dragon, what's up? Seems like thanks to Trump, you guys will be paying a Canadian prices soon. It is what it is. I mean, if it happens, it's going to be fucked up, but I'm not going to sit here and act like I wouldn't pay it, because I had already said it that I'm prepared to pay up to like $700-800 for the PS5, and I'm prepared to pay up to $500 for the next iteration of PlayStation VR. So my original thought is that no, it's not going to cost that much, but now because of Trump, fucking with China, who knows, So I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get there. If it ends up costing me an extra, $10-20, so what? I mean, 10%, and it ends up costing me an extra $50. It is what it is. You said you'll pay whatever it takes for a PS5. Yeah, and I mean, the VR aspect of it makes it that much more valuable to me. Cyber Dragon, afternoon chat, mods, and our host Lincoln. I say play both for about 45 minutes to 1 hour each. Oh, make no question about it. I am gonna play both PSVR and Oculus. Make no mistake about it. So I think that's about all I got. So I'm gonna take a quick minute. Take a quick second to check out Upload VR and or Road to VR and see what kind of news we got. You said I remember people paying $1,000 for PS2 when it first came out. Yeah, those were the scalpers. Well, these ninja numbers are all over the place. Now, Mads is saying that Microsoft's paying them $50 million. Okay, so give me a second. Let me check this out. See what news we got. Oh, also, while I'm thinking about it, some paid over $2,000. Entertainment Wizard, wow. And let me see. Impatient Fire, he said Microsoft paid him $50 million, according to The Verge. I wonder for how many years though. Because I still think that Microsoft is targeting kids by signing him, but both Spawnwave and Sick Humor made some good points that it was actually a smart move, because not only will he pull a good amount of people over to Mixer, it'll help keep Twitch in line, because if Twitch keeps screwing up, then more and more people might jump ship and head on over to Mixer. And with Mixer, you already have that ability to interact and play games with people who are streaming there, streaming on Mixer. So, both Spawnwave and Sick Humor both made a good point that when people get over to Mixer and they see how it works, they might stay there. DJ, do you think PlayStation will do a No Man's Sky plus PSVR bundle? It's definitely a system seller. That was definitely on my mind, DJ. I was like, because what I think could possibly happen? I think when the flat screen people who really love No Man's Sky, I think when they see us VR people in there and they see how much more freedom we have from, being able to, move our arms around and all that kind of stuff, I think when they see how much more freedom we have, and how much more interactive the game can be, some of those people are going to run out and get a headset. And I think this would be a perfect moment for PlayStation, for Sony to jump in and put a No Man's Sky bundle out there. Because if you want to get into VR, I think the PlayStation VR is a great start. A lot of people already have a PlayStation, so you already halfway home. So, and in my opinion, they don't necessarily have to do a No Man's Sky bundle, although it would help. But to me, hell, just putting the shit on sale would be huge if they did it right around that time. If they offered a $200 bundle, $200 or $250 bundle. Coon, you said No Man's Sky VR is going to be dope. I believe you, sir. PLO, I can't see No Man's Sky PSVR bundle not happening. I think it should happen, but I ain't gonna. You know how it is, I ain't gonna just jump up and say that it's gonna happen, but I think it should happen. I think it's a great possibility that it could happen. So I think that could be huge in steering a few people over from flat screen gaming to have a few of them jump over and get a PlayStation VR. That would be huge. So I think if Sony didn't do some kind of No Man's Sky bundle or put the PlayStation VR on sale right around the time that this comes out, it would be a huge opportunity missed as far as I'm concerned. So let's see what we got at Upload VR. Says Cyber Dragon, I had a great time playing it. Cyber Dragon, do you got a VR headset? And if you don't have a VR headset, do you plan on getting one? While I'm at it, I want to take a little poll. How many of you in here, it's 8 of you in here, but how many of you have some sort of VR headset, whether it's Oculus, PSVR? How many of you already have a headset? Type 1 in the chat. And how many of you in here don't have a VR headset, but are looking to get one because of No Man's Sky? Type 2 in the chat. So, Patient Fire, you got a headset? PLO got a headset? Uncompetitive, what's up? Uncompetitive's got a headset? DJ's got a headset? So yeah, I know Uncompetitive got a headset because we did the Drive Club thing before, me, him, and Sick Humor. Impatient Fire, I've got 2 PSVRs. One of them is wonky. Shoots, that was another thing I meant to say to you guys. You guys, if you count the consoles, the PCs, and all the headsets that I've owned, I probably spent well over $3,000 for VR. Although they gave it to me at a sale price, I got this Alienware computer for $1,600, but it was normally $2,000. And then I bought my PS4 Pro for $400, so we're up to $2,000 that I paid right there. And then the headsets that I had the first PlayStation VR, which was $500. And then I bought this second one with the HDR pass-through. I got it on clearance from Target for $200. So now we're up to $2,700. Then my original Oculus Rift CV1, I paid $350 for that, and then I paid another $60 for another sensor, for a third sensor. So now we're up to $3,000. And then I paid $400 for the Oculus Rift S. So now we're up to $3,400. And then I bought my son the Oculus Quest. So that's like $3,800 that I've spent on VR headsets, a console, to go, that works with the headset or a PC. So close to $4,000. So with that being said, again, we have to thank Sony because they put VR within reach for a lot of people, and they gave us the games to back it up. They didn't throw a Kinect at us and not give us game. They gave us a PSVR headset and gave us games to go with it. It took a while for us to start getting the games, but they gave them to us. PLO, you said I might take my PSVR back and get a new one if No Man's Sky gets bundled with PSVR. Hey, I can't knock you for that. I know there was something else that I was going to say about this, but let's go ahead and go to upload VR. Vive Cosmos is listed at $699.99. We'll call it $700. You said Lincoln VR Clay has a nice ring to it. As it stands, Cyber Dragon, the 670 at the end of my name, I hated to do that, but when I first came up with the name Lincoln Clay, obviously because of the game Mafia 3, I came up with the name Lincoln Clay, and then I typed Lincoln Clay into the YouTube search to see if I could find my channel, and there was so much Mafia 3 content there. And I said, there's no way anybody will be able to find my name through all this shit. So I changed the Clay, the Clay, I put a K there instead of the C, how it's spelled, and then I put 670 at the end of it to make it easier to find me. But myself, I wanted to go with just Lincoln Clay, no numbers or hyphens or underscores, none of that stuff, because I like Lincoln Clay. I thought about changing my name a couple of times. I thought about changing my name to Kent Fury. But I don't want to go through the process of, Kent Fury, formerly Lincoln Clay, that kind of stuff. So I still like the name Lincoln Clay, so I'm going to go ahead and stick with that. And let's see, we got anything else? Steam adds workaround for Valve Index thumbstick click issues. Fixes firmware and runtime bugs. Speaking of which, I know we over this past week and a half or something like that, I know that speaking of other VRs, I know we got the update for the Oculus Quest that's supposed to improve tracking, and we got the update for the Oculus Rift S, which is supposed to eliminate the static flash. When you're in the middle of playing a game, you get that snow picture for a split second. So we had that update come out. Says roughly 10% of Steam VR users may be using Oculus Rift S or Valve Index already. Okay. So Special Force VR, Infinity War. This is going to be another first-person shooter game that's coming up. There's some parts of it that looks like Rainbow Six. There's some parts of it that just looks like a regular first-person shooter. Either way, I feel like with VR, you can never have too many first-person shooters because any mistakes that people made on other games or stuff that people got left out of other games, someone will come along and improve that. So that goes back to what I said before in the past, where I feel like, sometimes somebody's got to fuck up in order for somebody to come along and fix it. So I'm all for more first-person shooter games. But I'm wondering if this is the Special Forces game that was announced right around the time that Alvo got announced. Because right around the time that Alvo got announced, we had Alvo, we had Special Forces VR, And then shortly after that was when we got the firewall announcement. So I'm wondering if that's the same Special Forces VR, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to pick it up, and it's probably gonna. My guess is it'll probably come to PC first because they might put it in early access, and then I don't know if it's gonna come to PlayStation VR or not. And then Respawn, the makers of the Titanfall game, they are working on a AAA exclusive first-person shooter. It's a AAA Oculus exclusive that's going to be shown at Oculus 6 Connect next month. I think like September 14th or something like that. And I guess there's going to be a playable demo on hand. So I'm really looking forward to that whenever that comes out. The only thing I think we really heard about that game is that it will be out, before the year is up, by the end of the year. So there's still a lot of stuff to look forward to in 2019 because of the games that we already gotten this year and some of the games that's still on the horizon for the rest of this year. I think 2019 still stands to be one of the best years ever for VR. So absolutely looking forward to what else we got coming. So let me see. Let me check Road to VR, which usually has the same stuff. I'll check that out, and then I'm gonna have to boogie on out of here. Entertainment Wizard hopes Sony gets Insomniac working on VR games for them. Ice Queen Gaming, Dawn, hi, and I'm not feeling well, and it's personal stuff for me. Okay. Well, I hope you don't plan to go to too many places until whatever's ailing you subsides. Entertainment Wizard, Iron Man VR, I really want to play. Yes, me too. And then, who I think? Sony shouldn't have let them go. And that's Ready at Dawn. Ready at Dawn, most of you know on the Sony side, Ready at Dawn did The Order 1886. But on the Oculus side, they did Lone Echo, which I feel is still the best looking VR game that I've seen to date. With that being said, I think Sony should go get them back, and and have them make games for the PlayStation 2 via PS5, because I know they would make some very compelling, very good looking games. I think Sony should go grab them back. Ice Queen Gaming, this woman things, Lincoln. Yeah, I figured that's what you meant, so that's why I was saying you probably better not move around too much in terms of going places today until this situation passes. Arian Drake, what is up? What's going on with you? So let me go to Road to VR before I close shop and see what they got over there. Same thing, No Man's Sky, Vi Cosmos listed for $700. Let me see. It says ILM Lab to preview Episode 2 of Star Wars Vader Immortal at D23 Expo. And I think this is going to be a very interesting episode. Arian Drake, what's going on? He said, glad to see me. Hey, appreciate it. I mentioned at the beginning of this podcast with my condition that that my eyesight is getting better in terms of the blurred vision, and if it came down to it, I don't need these glasses to read the chat. It's still slightly blurry, but I can still read it. But this just having the glasses on makes it razor sharp. So I definitely got it. Andrew Wilkins, what is up? So I'm still wearing glasses. But after the way they explained it to me, the way this works, my H1C number is at 10.2, down from 11.5. And the eye doctor said that I had to get down to 7.5 before they could prescribe any kind of glasses for me. And the way the doctors explained it to me is that the life expectancy of red blood cells in your body is about 3 months. So that's about how long it's going to take for the red blood cells in my body that's covered with sugar to die off and my body produce new ones. And that should bring my H1C down, and that should and that should alleviate the blurred vision I'm dealing with. So in simple terms, my eyes should probably be back to where they were in a couple of months. Uncompetitive, you need new glasses? All right. And Dawn, you said you're picking up your new glasses next week. And uncompetitive, you said you went out to lunch, you couldn't read without them. You know what I used to do when my vision first started going blurry? If I was out to eat and they'd hand me the menu and I couldn't read it, what I would do was take my phone and then like blow the picture up on my phone so I could read the menu. Joystick Guru, you said that's good. Thanks, bro. Appreciate it. So I think that's about all I have. And I know some of you, I like to think that a lot of you know that Wipeout Omega Collection is free for PlayStation Plus. Shout out to Sony for finally giving us a free VR game, for the PlayStation Plus membership. So shout out to Sony for that. If you don't already have it, make sure you pick up Wipeout Omega Collection. It's definitely a fun game. And uncompetitive, you don't own a smartphone? Shit. What? Oh, and this fall, there is a new Star Trek VR game coming. It is called Star Trek Away Mission. And it's a multiplayer VR game coming to Sandbox VR this fall. I guess with this game, you are on a planet surface trying to find a crashed ship. So I assume that they're probably going to beam you down on the planet surface at the crash site, and from there, or near the ship's last known location, and you got to try to find the ship. So, I'm still looking forward to it. I'm definitely a Trekkie, so I'm looking forward to seeing that. Let me see. We got Wolfenstein Cyberpilot reviews. Not so good. I think Sughead Gaming probably gave the most definitive version that I seen. He said the game was very mediocre, but he said you could tell by the graphics that a lot of money was put into this game. Also, is there a trailer for the Star Trek game? Just a minute, let me see. As a matter of fact, there is. Do I dare try to put it up here so you guys? It's in cooperation with CBS. Federation Starship. So from what I'm seeing, it looks like a cinematic trailer. But yes, you'll be able to wield phasers in this game. Is it the same developers of Bridge Crew? That I don't know. That's something I would have to look into, PLO. But definitely looking forward to it. And I think there was one more bit of news. Uncompetitive, you're talking to Joystick Guru. All right. I'm happy about PlayStation at 100 million. Yeah, that's huge. Um, because that lets us know the consoles aren't going anywhere anytime soon. So I've been on for about 45 minutes. And I think I'm gonna get ready to boogie on out of here. I got a few things to do. Get a hold of my son and see if he wants to come over tonight. Um, and I got to call my mother back and see what she wanted, and get ready to watch the upcoming podcast. Wow, tonight I would like to think that we're going to have the round table tonight. I don't know what we're going to do though with no more Google Hangouts. I'm led to believe that we'll probably use StreamYard or Discord. So I'm sure Thrash will have it figured out. So look for me there. And I'm sure I'll do some kind of podcast tomorrow, live from Wakanda, just random thoughts. We'll figure it out. So I'll definitely do something. Now, with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and boogie on out of here, y'all. Deuces. I will holler at y'all later. I'm out of here.